What's up, fight fans? It's your man 3K the Boss, aka Mr. Two Hands Up. You know what it is. Alright, so I'm sure y'all already know what I'm going to talk about. And if you don't know, you're about to. So let's just go ahead and get right into this shit. Random Boxing Talk Volume 3 from the couch with Mr. Two Hands Up. Welcome to the Two Hands Up show. Okay, so of course, coming from the boxing scene, the WBC suspends Dillian Whyte's position as interim champ and mandatory. And this comes from the World Boxing Channel's official page. So, alright, let's go. An A sample UCAD collected from Mr. Dillian Whyte in relation with his bout against Oscar Rivas yielded an adverse finding. In light of the adverse finding, and pending the outcome of the WBC's own investigation and judiciary process, and the WBC is provisionally suspending the WBC's recognition of Dillian Whyte as interim world heavyweight champion and mandatory challenger of the division. The WBC has notified Mr. Whyte and his team of the WBC suspension, and that it will afford Mr. Whyte the opportunity to present its position to the WBC at an investigative hearing, which will take place at a place and time to be announced in the near future. Throughout its investigation and hearing, the WBC will afford Mr. Whyte and his team the opportunity to present any available information and materials and any exculpatory evidence that may deem inappropriate. Now, considering, okay, that's the end of the article. That's the end of the article. And I'm going to say that's a bunch of bullshit. Because, as I told you guys in the other video, the two derivatives, the metabolites that broke down in the system from the D-ball, Dillian Whyte lives in a country where D-ball is legal. It's found in a lot of dietary supplements, a lot of bodybuilding shit. It's found in a lot of things. In most other parts of the world, it's not. But we have to take that into consideration. And we have to take in consideration the Eric Molinas, the Tyson Furies, and the other individuals of the world who were found with adverse findings, such as Luis Ortiz, and still able to fight for a world title, wasn't stripped, wasn't suspended. Well, Tyson Fury, when he failed the cocaine test, Eric Molina, they waited while they investigated on him as well. But when it comes to Dillian Whyte, before you get all of the information, you go right into suspension. Doesn't fucking shock me not one bit. Doesn't shock me not one bit, because y'all never wanted him to have the mandatory position in the first place. And I'm sure that while y'all were prolonging his title shot, denying the inevitability, y'all were just hoping that he would fail. So, you just continued denying the inevitable, and then the public started putting their foot on the gas. Eddie Hearn started putting his foot on the gas. They were thinking about going through litigation processes. You never wanted him to be mandatory anyway. A sporting icon says, I'm sure Deontay Wilder sweats cold as fuck in the middle of the night, having nightmares, waking up, shrieking about having to fight Dillian Whyte. As I've done videos on this time and time again, as I've spoke on this situation time and time again, to persecute or to point fingers beyond rational understanding of the situation and diving into details or creating your own details to add to it, to grow and birth a falsified narrative of what is absolutely taking place here, is, for one, is disingenuous. It's some fake ass shit to do, and it makes anyone who does anything of the sort look very ignorant. I think that it's just so funny to me that Dillian Whyte or any other top English boxer, it seems like, isn't afforded, that is a threat, I should go ahead and say as well, PowerPoint that, isn't afforded the same luxuries as all of the other fucking American fucking cheats laying in wait with USADA, or with their 3 week with their last 3 weeks before about not having to sign up to VADA, etc., etc. Or fucking they're getting their just due from the shit, and fucking knee is blocking me. But you persecute Dillian Whyte without having all of the facts. In knowing that, we gotta understand here that with D-ball, it is not we know that it's not a quantity issue. No matter what's found in there, you're automatically at fault. It's the fact that it's in there, because it truly is a performance enhancer. But did Dillian Whyte truly know that? Is there something that we need to know, where the source of the metabolites and derivatives come from, before we even point a finger, or before we even go through with a suspension, before we even go through with stripping mandatory positions? Those are the things that a sensible, well-rounded, knowledgeable individual does first. Especially an individual running a sanctioning body. Well, I mean, I would expect nothing less. But this is the WBC we're talking about here. And it's very unfortunate for Dillian Whyte, who's shed blood, sweat, and I'm sure tears on the low, for all of that shit that he's gone through, all of the things that he's put into the sport, and what are you truly getting back besides backlash from doing nothing but earning your way to the top, making yourself a pay-per-view star, and you're getting fucked over, and you're not even afforded being innocent until proven guilty. It's a load of bullshit. I don't have nothing else to say about the shit. I'm so disgusted about it. That's truly all I got for you guys right now. And I will continue to say to anybody who watches my fucking videos, or you even, I don't give a fuck if you half-heartedly take in the things that I'm saying. Don't fucking pass judgments at the individual before you get all of the facts. I mean, shit. Canelo Alvarez and his tainted meat, man. Fucking Eric Molina, Tyson Fury, Luis Ortiz. I mean, Dillian Whyte, nah. I mean, what do you expect? I mean, this is the world we fucking live in, man. This is boxing. This whole shit is one charade. It's one big circus, man. Everything is just effed up about it. But the only thing that can be done is when you and I stop fucking buying into the bullshit, subscribe to the blue pill, drop the red, and start campaigning and truth. Stop putting your money into the pockets of these clowns, and stop affording them the luxury of taking in your hard-earned money for their bullshit viewership, and get this sport back to where it needs to be. I will keep campaigning this argument. I will stand firmly behind this argument, and I'm not sold on the Dillian Whyte situation, if he is guilty or not yet. And Eddie Hearn is taking a lot of backlash by him not saying anything to Oscar Rivas, but UCAD specifically said You can't tell, and you can't tell the Oscar Reavers camp because that would already be an admission of guilt. So is that UCAD's fault, or is that Dillian Whyte and Eddie Hearn's fault? I can't point fingers at who's here to blame because VADA okays it. VADA doesn't find anything, but UCAD does. Who's greasing whose pockets here? What type of fucked up shit is going on? Is Deontay going backdoor? Is Mauricio Suleiman going backdoor? There are some envelopes being exchanged underhand that we don't know about here. Man, well, that's all I got for you guys, man. Cost you nothing to pay me no mind. As y'all can tell, I'm pretty pissed off about the shit. But hey, man, what do you expect? This is the WBC. And this is the wonderful fucking sport of boxing. Respect.